Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Jake the Genealogist, and in today's video we're going to be taking several history quizzes to test my knowledge to see how good I am in the field of history, specifically U.S. history. And this is almost an episode 2 of my series that I created, my impromptu series, if you will, called Jake Takes, where I basically take a bunch of fun quizzes. If you missed the last episode a couple of weeks ago, I took the political compass test to see where I fell on the political compass. And today, as you know already, we're going to be taking a U.S. history quiz, or I guess quizzes. Let's see, which one would be good? Okay, can you pass this American history quiz? It's time to take the hardest American history quiz out there. Are you ready to find out if you know enough about the grand old USA? Yeah, okay. Oh, it's one of these things. Yeah, do not sell my info. Okay, what is it? Okay, fine, you can use cookies if you really must. Okay, 77% of Americans fail this American history quiz. Can you pass? It's one of these things. I'm reluctant to take it, but okay. Alright. Which of the following presidents, ooh, I would know this, did not die in office? That'd be, well, I can already see the answer right here. That'd be Grover Cleveland. Never died in office. Okay. What is Susan B. Anthony known for? Well, she is known for leading the women's rights movement. And I think she also advocated for getting rid of child labor and some other great things like that. Renaissance man, well, Renaissance woman in this case. Which of the following states does not have any land that was acquired in the Louisiana Purchase? Ooh. Ooh, okay. This is actually a good question. I mean, I have a map in my room, so avoiding my temptation to go and look at that to find out the answer. But Nebraska is definitely part of it. I think Missouri was too. I'm gonna say Mississippi, and I am right actually. Yeah, it was Mississippi. Okay. When was the attack on Pearl Harbor? Well, it was 1941. I know that for sure, but was it the 6th or the 7th? I think it was the 7th. I think it was the 7th. Yes, I am right. I know that because that was the same month in which my grandmother was born. She was born in December 1941. So that's just a nice little tip to remember that. Where was the first battle of the American Revolution? Okay. That was Lexington and Concord. Yeah, yeah. The hot shot heard around the world, as it goes. Alright. When was the first U.S. city to host the Olympics? Ooh. Oh, I know this one. Oh, I know this one, actually. Because I read this whole, thing about the 1904 Olympics in St. Louis. So that is the answer. It's in St. Louis. Very infamous for having some of the worst sporting events ever. Okay. Continue the quiz. Okay. Was the first space mission to successfully land on the moon? That would be Apollo 11, right there. Famous moon landing in 1969. And this is for everyone who thinks that the moon landing was fake. Why? I mean, I think that's conspiracy is just about as dumb as every other conspiracy theory. And okay, what is the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States? I love how it just calls a college or university an institution of higher learning. It's about the most pretentious thing you can think of calling it. And the oldest is William and Mary. Yeah, it's College of William and Mary. founded in Virginia and sometime in the 1680s, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who is the second president of the United States? That would be right here, John Adams. And I love how they just called John Quincy Adams, John Quincy. How many years is 7 years ago? Well, a score, from what I remember is 20 years, so that's 87. 87 is the answer. Damn. All right. What is the First Amendment? Okay. Okay, here's the thing about this question. Now, I know that it is freedom of speech, but it's more than freedom of speech. I mean, it's freedom of the press. It's I believe freedom of religion, and maybe not those exact words, but it's freedom of a bunch of other stuff besides speech. That wasn't the only thing listed in the First Amendment of the Constitution. Last question. How would you rate this quiz? It was pretty okay. Show me my results. Okay. Okay, I got 10 out of 11 correct. Alright. See the answers. Okay, let's see. I was right. I was right. What? Wait. I was right. Okay, I was right. 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 Close but not quite. Harvard. Hold on, I'm gonna double check that. I'm gonna double check that. First university in America. Okay, it was Harvard. Interesting. Okay, I thought it was William and Mary. I guess Harvard was the first one. Okay, so I got that wrong. But saying that 77% won't be able to pass this quiz is a bit of a little bit of a outrageous statement. Because I just took this and I got 10 out of 11. So I got obviously a passing grade. 10 out of 11 is I don't even know what grade that is. All I know is it's passing. And saying that 77% of Americans, to be honest, now thinking about that, that's not so outrageous of a claim. I could definitely see, I could definitely see 3 out of every 4 people not passing that. There's a lot of dumb people in my country, I can definitely tell you that, but a lot of smart people as well. Alright, can you pass this US history quiz? Let's see. Okay. What was the Jamestown settlement? Well, it was the first permanent English settlement in the Americas, as long as you don't count Roanoke. Because technically that was intended to be permanent. Oh, God. 62 questions, okay. Okay, I might actually try to zoom through these instead of reading the questions. Hopefully you all don't mind. Which state was the first to secede from the Union before the start of the Civil War? That would be South Carolina. What year is the Declaration of Independence signed? 1776. Who was president during the War of 1812? James Madison. Which amendment ended prohibition? That was the 21st. Which of the following events led the U.S. to officially enter World War II and the attack on Pearl Harbor? What did the Navajo Code Talkers do for the U.S. military? They created an unbreakable communication code. What year did the Vietnam War officially end? 1975. Which president served 3 terms in office? I guess Franklin D. Roosevelt? Well, that's weird, because he served 4 terms. Not 4 full terms, mind you, because he died in office in his 4th one. Okay. It's a weird layout for questions. Okay, which journalist broke the Watergate scandal? That was Cronkite. No, it was Woodward and Bernstein. Okay. Click to continue the quiz. What? Where do I click? Huh? Huh? Okay. Well, I guess this quiz is officially broken. Well, let's take a new one. Okay. Okay, I'm taking none of these ones. Also, this one's just staring at me in the face. But it's apparently sponsored with ads. Well, I'll take it anyways. Ultimate States Capitals quiz. Nobody can score 50 out of 50. Well, that is a pretty bold statement. Okay. What's the capital of the state that produces the most apples in the nation? That would be Washington, and its capital is Olympia. Okay. Of the 4 state capitals named after a president, which one would you find in Mississippi? You'd find Jackson, named after the infamous Andrew Jackson. Okay. In New Mexico, you will find the state capital with the highest elevation. What is it? Yeah, the Santa Fe. Yeah, I'm actually surprised about that. I didn't know that was the highest elevation. I learned something. I always thought it was Denver. I mean, it's called Mile High City for a reason. Vermont's state capital is the only one without a McDonald's anywhere in the city. Okay. What's its name? Montpellier. Named after some French person, I think, or maybe named after a city in France. Someone from Vermont will have to tell me that. The Treasure State calls which city its capital? Treasure State. I believe that's Carson's. No, it's Helena. I've never heard that nickname before. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't get 50 out of 50, which is a bit of embarrassing, but still. Oh, behave. This is Austin Powers reference. This Lone Star state capital shares its name with the first name of Mike Myers' groovy international man of mystery. What is it? I already revealed it. It's Austin, Texas. Once again, in our, actually, what am I talking about? Don't look for Homer Simpson or the Quickie Mart here. But you will find Abraham Lincoln's Presidential Library in this Illinois capital. I get it. It's Springfield, because it's talking about Springfield from The Simpsons. North Carolina's Tar Heels call Chapel Hill home, but the state capital can be found in its nearby neighbor, Raleigh, named after Sir Walter Raleigh. Don't look for an interstate to take you to the South Dakota capital. It's one of 4 where none go. That would be Pierre, South Dakota. Interesting. Montpellier actually has fewer residents. How do I get from there to here? If there is this Alaskan capital, the answer isn't by car because you can't reach it by car. That'd be Anchorage, Juneau. I'm an idiot. Okay. This Michigan capital is chosen not for its size or influence, but out of frustration with other cities lobbying for a position. What is it? That'd be Lansing. Another kind of weird one that you wouldn't expect. Utah is home to the Great Salt Lake, so it's probably not a surprise that this city is a state capital. Salt Lake City. There we go. Rammer Jammer Yellowhammer. Okay, what is the capital of Alabama? Okay. The capital of Alabama is Birmingham. Nope, it's Montgomery. Okay, this is actually kind of embarrassing, because I said that's a pretty bold statement that nobody can get 50 out of 50. I guess it's still a bold statement, because I'm sure some capital geniuses would get a better score than me. Whether you're enjoying a United soccer match or in search of a peach milkshake at the varsity, you'll never run out of things to do in this Georgian state capital of Atlanta. Connecticut's capital used to be home to the Whalers of the NHL. These are really random facts. One about McDonald's, another one about the Hartford Whalers, I guess they were called. So that's the capital. Looking for tax-free shopping, you'll want this Delaware capital name for an English port. Dover, right there. If you're looking for a crossroads of America, don't make the same mistake Charles Barkley did and go to Maryland. Huh? You want this Indiana capital city. Okay, Indianapolis. It's pretty obvious. Pretty much the most obvious capital. I find that kind of stuff fascinating, because in Belize, the name of our capital is Belize City. And then there's weird ones like Kansas City, which is... People say it's not in Kansas, which is actually a lie. There is actually a city in Kansas called Kansas City, but the one everyone thinks of is actually in Missouri. Fun fact, if you didn't know. Minneapolis is the more famous Twin City, but this one is the real capital of Minnesota. That would be St. Paul. This capital city in Massachusetts is most famous for its Tea Party. Where was it? Boston. Good old Boston Tea Party. Phil Bredesen used to be the mayor of this Tennessee capital and was instrumental in bringing the Titans to town. A lot of sports-related facts, as far as I can tell. It would be Nashville. I mean, I would have said something about the music there. That's where it's at. Loosely translated, the name of this Iowa capital means of the monks. Oh, that would be Des Moines. I didn't actually know that. Boise, known as the City of Trees. Which state calls Boise its capital? Idaho. Right there. Home of potatoes. At least that's what everyone thinks. In Missouri, the capital is named for our third president, who was... Jefferson City. This Arkansas state capital sounds more like a pebble than a place of government. What's its name? Ah, I get it. Little Rock. Sounds more like a pebble. Who gives names to pebbles? Okay. Welcome to the Valley of the Sun, also known as Phoenix. If you're here, which state are you visiting? That'd be Arizona. Okay. This city might sound like it's famous for witchcraft, but you won't find anything like that in this Oregon state capital. Haha, very funny. Right, this is throwing a bunch of kind of lame puns, so I'm not gonna read it anymore. I'm just gonna completely ignore the puns. I'll still read it. Wyoming calls itself the Equality State because it was the first state that gave women the right to vote. In which capital city hosted this momentous decision? That'd be Cheyenne. This Iowa capital is named for a misguided explorer, and it's now Ohio's largest city. That'd be Columbus. Florida is the Sunshine State. Sunshine isn't the first thing people think of when they visit this capital. That'd be Tallahassee. What do people think of when they visit Tallahassee? This is the place for you, sports fans. This Colorado capital is the only state capital of MLB, NFL, NBA, and NHL teams. Wonderful. That'd be... Well, yeah, it's Colorado, so it's Denver. Mile High City, as we were mentioning earlier. Outside of Virginia, there are only 3 states in the U.S. that aren't part of a county: Baltimore, St. Louis, and this Nevada state capital. That'd be Carson City. Okay. Virginia's capital once served as the capital of the Confederacy during the Civil War. What was it? That would be Richmond, Virginia. The university that's named for our fourth president is in Virginia, but the state capital is in Wisconsin. What is it? That would be Madison. This North Dakota capital is named for a German ruler, Bismarck, named after Otto von Bismarck, famous German military guy. On the plains of Oklahoma, you'll find the state capital. What is it? I'm pretty sure that's pretty obvious to you. It's Oklahoma City. Translated from French, this Louisiana capital name means red stick. Baton Rouge, right there. Which I guess makes sense. I never thought about it. Not sure what it means, red stick. That's a little odd. To find New York's capital, get away from the big city and head north. Where are you going? Albany. Our misleading one. Only Hawaiian letters can be found in Hawaii's state capital. How do you know it? Only Hawaiian letters can be found? Oh, I mean, okay. Oh, okay, it says something. The Hawaiian alphabet only includes 12 letters. Wow. 5 vowels and the consonants H, K, L, M, N, P, and W. About a third of Hawaiians live in Honolulu. Okay, interesting. I never knew that before. But it's not like anyone playing this quiz would know actual Hawaiian. It's pretty doubtful. It's like asking me, this capital of Serbia only contains letters of Serbian. I mean, do you really assume that many people, especially in somewhere not even close to Serbia, would actually know that kind of stuff? It's a little weird. This Maine state capital sounds more like the home of a golf course in Georgia, but it's a city much farther north. That'll be Augusta. That's a little bit weird. Kentucky might be attached to chicken, but its capital sounds more like a hot dog. How do you know now? It's Frankfurt. Not even gonna laugh at that pun. Located on Chesapeake Bay, Maryland's state capital is the closest one to Washington, D.C. Can you name it? Yes, it is Annapolis, right there. Don't try to pump gas in the state capital of New Jersey. It's the only one where it's never allowed. Interesting. That would be Trenton. Huh, that's interesting. Religion inspires the name of California's capital. Do you know what it is? It's Sacramento, and I believe that means sacrament in Spanish. Lincoln's home was Illinois, but the capital named for him is in which other Midwestern U.S. state? That would be in Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, right there. New Hampshire is known for its state primaries, but what about its state capital? That would be Concord, right there. There's a world outside this Rhode Island capital, but the world inside is pretty nice for seafood lovers. What is it? That'd be Providence. Fortunately, well, I guess in this case, unfortunately, if I had lived in Rhode Island, I am actually vegetarian, so I don't eat any meat, seafood, whatever. The storage. Pennsylvania took its name from William Penn. Do you know the capital that's on an island in its center? That would be Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. In the center of South Carolina, you'll find this capital. Do you know its name? Yes, it is Charleston. Nope, it is not. It's Columbia. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah. West Virginia is known as the Mountain State. In which capital city can you hike its mountain trails? There we go. This one is Charleston. Mix the two up. The failure of popular sovereignty led Kansas to submit constitution from two state capitals in 1857. Which one eventually became the true capital of Kansas. That'd be Topeka, right here. No emails, please. Just show me the results. Okay, I got 46 out of 50. Alright, I'm called Amerigo Vespucci. You know, the United States and its capital's like the back of your hand. Way to pay attention in school and on the road. Yeah, it's not like I've gone on any road trips inside the United States, unfortunately. I'd love to sometime. But I think this is gonna wrap this video up. Hope you like this pretty quick and easy unedited video, even though it's on the longer side. And I'll be gone for a little while. I'm taking a small little break for a week from these videos, so you won't see a video next week, but the week after you'll see one coming out, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.